Did you know that whenever people are shown appreciation, whether it's a child or an adult, a co-worker, a subordinate, a manager, a team member, whenever somebody is shown appreciation, they tend to perform better? That is a fact, and it has been proven by studies. The same applies to marriage. Showing appreciation can powerfully transform your marriage relationship. And that's exactly what this video is all about today. Hi there, gorgeous. My name is Nokie, author of Spice It Up. It's time to revive your intimacy. Before I take a deep dive into this video, may you please do me a big favor. Can you go ahead and click that subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you get notified whenever a new video goes up? And I sincerely appreciate you watching this video. So this video is going to be in two parts. In the first half of the video, I'm going to be talking about how appreciation can powerfully transform your marriage relationship. And then on the second half of the video, I am going to give you some practical ways in which you can show appreciation to your spouse. The first thing that appreciation does to powerfully transform your marriage relationship is by reinforcing emotional connection. How, you may ask? I am so glad you asked. Whenever you show appreciation or you express your appreciation to your spouse, they feel valued. And not only do they feel valued, they also do feel recognized. And that's a great feeling. They feel like, oh, she values me. And that's one of the best feelings a spouse can have in a relationship. They feel emotionally connected. When you show appreciation to your spouse, you also create a positive atmosphere. Wherever there's appreciation, you will not find any negativity. I'm talking about sincere appreciation. Appreciation and negativity don't go hand in hand. So whenever you extend appreciation to your spouse, you are creating a positive environment which is healthy, not just for you but for your whole family. Okay? And then the second way in which appreciation can powerfully transform your marriage relationship, my sister, is appreciation actually strengthens trust and intimacy. Yes, it does. Appreciation actually helps you and your spouse build trust. A spouse that is shown or given appreciation feels not only valued but also acknowledged, that their efforts are recognized and appreciated, hence building trust and closeness to each other. When you show or express appreciation to your spouse, they are more likely to trust you because they feel that you value them and you acknowledge their efforts. And whenever they feel acknowledged, they are most likely to trust you and get even closer to you just by that act of appreciating them. Appreciation encourages vulnerability. When a couple is vulnerable, they are bound to get closer emotionally and physically, hence deepening their intimate time. Try it and come back and thank me later, okay? And by now, and from the opening of this video, you are aware that showing or expressing appreciation actually encourages positive behavior. Yes, that is number 3. When appreciation is shown to your spouse, or when you show or express appreciation to your spouse, it actually encourages them to keep on doing whatever action it is that they keep doing. I can't help but give an example of one of the things that I mentioned in my book, Spice It Up. It's time to revive your intimacy. That during intimate time, it's important for you. I know I said I'm going to give you a list of actions on what to do, but I just have to throw this example in here. Whenever you express or appreciate what your spouse does to you, a certain thing that it does to you that you really enjoy or really like, it's important for you to express your appreciation. And I've mentioned this in other videos as well. He will not forget how he makes you feel whenever he does that kind of action, okay? And then another thing that appreciation does, it actually promotes growth. By you appreciating those actions that they do or the behavior that they do that is good for you and your family, or you and your marriage. It will help him grow. Not only is he going to grow, but you will grow together. Okay, I think this is a very important and powerful point. If you do not remember anything in this video, please remember this point. So believe it or not, you can use appreciation to mutually and personally grow and personally develop with your partner. All right, let's move on. And at number 4, appreciation can actually improve your communication. Oh yes, it can. And I'm sure you can think of instances when you've expressed appreciation to your spouse, and that appreciation opens up a conversation and you end up having open communication that can lead to you discussing other things that you would have done without expressing the appreciation. So it's very important to use appreciation in a constructive and positive environment. Appreciation is nothing but goodness. It's you expressing the good in the other person. Okay, as a result of that good communication, appreciation also will have a tendency of reducing conflict. Yes, it can reduce the amount of conflict that a couple can have, because everybody feels understood in that positive atmosphere, and hence it will reduce the amount of conflicts in your relationship. Isn't that beautiful though? Just from appreciating somebody. I think this is something that you and I need to practice more frequently and be intentional about it. What do you think? If you are loving and appreciating, no pun intended there, if you are appreciating this content, go ahead and click the thumbs up button so that other people who may be looking for similar content may find this video. Okay, let's move on to the 5th way in which appreciation can powerfully transform your marriage, and that is appreciation can actually boost one's self-esteem. Oh yes, it can, my friend. So that is number 5. Use appreciation to boost your spouse's self-esteem. Appreciating him will help them gain confidence, self-confidence, that is, because we know some people struggle. You also may have struggled with low self-esteem, but remember, when somebody will give you a kind comment or express their appreciation to you, even if it was a temporary feeling of building your self-esteem, but what's important is it did boost up your self-esteem. Can you imagine appreciating your spouse more often, especially if you're married to somebody who's got a low self-esteem, who is not confident, who thinks that maybe they are not enough? The more appreciation you give them, the better, the more confident they will become. And I know at times, especially us ladies, we are so quick to criticize, judge, and bring people down, but don't let that be a portion for your marriage, my sister. Practice appreciating your spouse and use it as a tool or as a weapon to boost their self-confidence. I think that this is very important. Who doesn't want a spouse who is confident and has a self-esteem that is healthy? I'm not talking about being puffed up, but a healthy self-esteem. So use appreciation to your spouse's advantage and help him improve his self-esteem and boost his confidence. And it will help them improve their self-image. Trust me, it will. Appreciating your spouse is going to help transform that low self-esteem to a greater self-esteem, and that will lead to a better self-image. And that is sexy. What do you think? I want to hear from you in the comments below, okay? Do you know what else it will do? It will also provide your spouse with emotional security. By them knowing that they are valued and appreciated, it will help them to be emotionally secure, because by expressing appreciation, you are bringing to their attention that not only do you value them, but you appreciate them as well. That will bring emotional security to your spouse. Okay, let's move on to the last one before we move on to the ways in which you can express appreciation to your spouse, and that is, so at number 6, before we move on to the practical ways in which you can show appreciation, there's a tendency that when you give your spouse a compliment, that is appreciate them, they are going to reciprocate that with another compliment, and that becomes a cycle of positivity. That means by always appreciating one another, you are adapting and choosing to live a lifestyle of positivity. Once you start practicing appreciation intentionally, in no time you're going to realize that your spouse as well is going to reciprocate the appreciation, and hence it becomes your thing. It becomes normal. It becomes a cycle of positivity. And where there's appreciation, like I've said, you know that there's good vibes, there's good things going on, there's no room for negativity. And what does that do as well? It will strengthen your bond, because you are choosing a lifestyle of appreciating one another. It will strengthen your bond emotionally, physically, and of course intimately. Okay, now let's move on to the practical ways in which you can demonstrate appreciation to your spouse, hence powerfully transforming your marriage relationship. Okay, if you have come this far in this video, I sincerely appreciate you. Make sure you click the thumbs up button so that other people may find it. So now let's quickly move to the practical ways in which you can show appreciation for your spouse. Number one, and this is the most common one, you can express your appreciation verbally. That means you can actually put it in words, say it to them that you appreciate them, and you can do this both in private and in public. Very, very important. You should not just always limit expressing your appreciation just in private, but also get into the habit of expressing it in public. An example in this instance is if your husband is the breadwinner and he provides for the family, in which in most households that's actually true. Every so often tell him, hey babe, I really appreciate that you provide for us, you provide for the family, you provide food and shelter. I really, really do appreciate it, and I do not take it lightly. Verbally express your appreciation for your spouse, appreciation that you can give to him in public. Maybe it can be during a conversation. Say something in response to a conversation that will show that you're actually appreciating your husband. In some instances, we've seen some women go as far as tearing their spouses down even in public. Don't do that. If you're watching this channel, I know you are not that kind of girl. Okay. Now let's move on to the second way in which you can show appreciation for your spouse. You can express appreciation through acts of kindness. Things that may seem insignificant, you'll be surprised that those little things may have a great impact. That could be maybe cleaning his office more regularly, organizing or packing his lunch. That is, if he does it for himself, for most of the times, just do it for him, but make sure that you consult with him what he would love to eat and do it for him. And if he is the one who maybe normally puts the kids to bed, if you are a housewife, you might say, oh, my day was hectic, I was so busy. But every so often, just take that off his hands. Those small acts of kindness will be very impactful in your marriage. Okay, and then the third way in which you can show appreciation for your spouse is through active listening. Come closer. I know most of us sisters have a challenge in this area. You can show that you appreciate your spouse by actively listening to what he is saying to you. Listen attentively. You might be tempted to interrupt him. Funny enough, just before recording this video, I was watching this podcast, and this couple, they were doing a Q&A, and the question was how they met. So the lady starts giving her own version of how they met. Guy is quiet listening, and so she goes on and she explains how they met. Of course, they say the two versions may be different, but she goes on until she's done. And then when it's his turn to say his own side of the story on how they met, she keeps on interrupting him, and he had to remind her that, but I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. So at times there's a very high temptation to interrupt by maybe adding or finishing off his sentence. Let's try by all means not to fall into that temptation, and instead practice active listening. And then when he is done, when you are sure that he is done, or when he invites you to talk, then you can put on your 2 cents. This is going to drastically improve your relationship, and you are showing him that you appreciate him. Because most women, when they jump in and they finish his sentence or try to change what he's saying, those are control issues. When I was watching that video, all I could see in that young lady is she has control issues. Control issues and appreciation do not go hand in hand. If you are controlling, there's a very high chance that you do not appreciate your spouse as much as you are supposed to be appreciating him. So my sister, do not fall into the temptation of being a control freak by finishing off his sentence or trying to say, no, this is not what actually happened. But practice active listening. Be a great listener. Okay, let's move on. Another way of showing appreciation for your spouse is spending more quality time together. Yes, this is showing that you appreciate them. Find activities that you both enjoy and spend more time together. These activities don't even have to break the bank. They don't have to be expensive activities. Find things that you know that he's going to enjoy doing. And on this one, I'll also go ahead and say, whatever his interests are in, be as involved, like whatever sport he may be interested in, watch it with him. Do not just sit there and complain and fight for the remote control, but also show interest, ask questions, and be part of it. This way you are saying, your interests are my interests. You are spending quality time while he's watching whatever game of tennis or whatever it is that he loves to watch. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to mention, what you can do to show appreciation to your spouse is celebrate each other's achievements. Always make sure that you celebrate his achievements. Yeah, celebrate his achievements as much as possible. That includes birthdays, his wins, both small wins and big wins, promotions. Celebrate, and you'll realize that in turn he's also going to celebrate your achievement. Okay, I have to wrap this video up. I have to wrap it up because my batteries are dead, and sorry about my throat. I was literally choking here. So make sure that you celebrate his achievements. Never let anything go without celebrating his achievements. It may be a promotion at work, it may be birthdays, anniversaries. Make sure that you celebrate, especially his individual achievements. Make it a point that you appreciate him. When it comes to achievements, the way you appreciate him, I'll suggest that you plan something that you know that he's going to enjoy, depending also on your budget. I don't really want you to break the bank, but I want you to work with your budget and do something to appreciate him, and get into the habit of every so often writing him a letter from the heart and express your appreciation. There's something about that. I'm not talking about a text message, but I'm talking about a handwritten letter or a typed letter to him, and express your appreciation for your spouse. You'll be surprised at how this is going to transform your marriage relationship. I'm going to be working on a similar video, but this time we're going to be talking about how listening, just the act of listening, can powerfully transform your marriage. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Remember to check the description box below. I'm going to leave a ton of very useful links, including my upcoming event where I'm going to be, it's an online event. I'm going to be talking about the sexual intimacy challenges faced by women, and it's going to be virtual, so you want to make sure that you register for that. It's super duper cheap, and I think this is the cheapest that I'll have an event. You want to take advantage of this, and so that we can spend time together on September 21st online, and of course you'll get time to ask questions towards the end of the 2 hours. Until next time, my friends, remember to do small things with great love, and don't forget to keep it spicy from my heart to yours. I'll see you next time. Adios, bye bye, God bless you. I love you, I sincerely do. Take care.